What is up, Assassins? Gargudon, VirtualTourism, and FalconSwift for the ones who came before here. And today, on this special episode of Rally the Creed, we are, of course, going to be talking Assassin's Creed Shadows, that, from when this is being released, ain't that far out. First of all, it's great to have you guys here. How are you guys today?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Yeah, all good, thanks. Nice to be
Nice
here.
one. All right, then let's just get straight to it. So let's start off. What are some of you guys' favorite impressions of Shadows with everything we've seen so far?
So for me, it was the being able to go prone. That's just going to add a whole another level to stealth, which is nice to see after the last few games that we've had. And besides that, just the fancy looking parkour. It looks quite nice.
Yeah, for once it's all the little fancy flips just for the sake of it. Kind of like
Yeah,
if you guys know those Devin Supertramp's old Assassin's Creed parkour in real life videos.
yeah,
All
yeah.
the funny flips and stuff that assassins don't really do, but now they do it just to
Looks
show
pretty
off,
cool.
really. Yeah. I want to say that what has caught me the most so far is probably the overall world, probably. It seems like this might be Ubisoft's most ambitious world to date, in terms of the seasons changing and using that to your advantage. And I mean, it is beginning to sound like, if any of you guys play that, like Red Dead Redemption 2 levels of realism.
Yeah, yeah, that I'm
Yeah,
really looking forward to.
Yeah.
it's it's like Valhalla, isn't it? Valhalla's got the seasons, but only in certain areas. So
It's sort
like
of spread
winter
out, isn't
is
it, up the
just
country?
winter's just up north. But now we're gonna get that everywhere.
Yeah.
We are just constantly changing, which will be different each time you play it, hopefully.
Well, I didn't know if it would change with different story beats. So certain missions
Possibly,
would
yeah.
be in the winter. But it'd be nice if, 'cause obviously they had it in Assassin's Creed 3. And
Yeah, I was just about to say that a
yeah,
little
when
bit.
you finished the game, you could change which season you wanted to just to free roam in and do the,
Okay, did you? I can't remember that.
Yeah, I didn't even
yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
you can, yeah, once you finish the
Yeah.
main story, you can switch up the seasons.
I
So you
just
can
thought
do
it was
Nice.
side
like
quests. And,
Sequence 9 or something that's like in the winter fixed.
no, 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 you can switch it. Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I always switch to winter just because it looks so bloody nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for
I thought
shots.
I always
Yeah.
thought you had to go to Turner King, Washington for that. Oh, that's cool. I might have to fire up the game again.
Yeah, yeah, give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a go.
But no, otherwise it looks like a map that is just going to be really colorful and
Yes.
yeah, blossomy. If any of you guys played another great Ubisoft title, Far Cry 4, I feel like it may have some of the same tendencies as Karat, with the
Yeah.
cherry trees and the tall mountains with snow and just those very like eastern looking forests and landscapes.
I think as well, the height of the map as well. You've got different heights, like with the mountain ranges and everything like that. I
Yeah.
think that's going to add like a really nice feel to it.
And the map
Do
looks
you think we'll be
big.
able to climb them?
Oh, 100%.
Climb a mountain. Oh, that's fun. Just a shame there isn't like a wingsuit then to
That's my favorite part of Far Cry.
yeah, just wingsuiting anywhere you can.
Yeah, it just makes you feel like James Bond or
Yeah,
something like that,
yeah.
doesn't it?
Through the Karate Mountains or through Hope County. Always, yeah. But no, the map looks also the size of it looks pretty big, and I think there was a little bit about that. Isn't it like Southeast Japan or something? It's like a fraction of
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
just
compared to
outside of
previous. Oh, go on.
Osaka or something.
Yeah, I think compared to previous games as well, it's not as large. So I'm hoping everything else is going to be a bit more detailed and a bit more everything's going to be packed in, which would be quite nice.
Oh,
They've done it for the scale, haven't they? I think to make the mountains actually look like they are mountains
Yeah,
rather than everything being so stretched.
yeah. Well, they did a great job in Ghost Recon Wildlands. Everything in that looks
Yeah,
to Jareen exactly how it
yeah.
should do.
I didn't
So it'd
play
be
that
nice to
one.
see that in an Assassin's Creed games.
I'll take your word for it. No, yeah, there's in short, lot to look forward to with the map itself. Also with what we've seen with like gear. It's going to be a wide selection of weapons, grappling hook, all sorts of cool tools there. I imagine, yeah, the pivot blade is making a return,
Yeah,
the
that's
origin of
nice to
that.
see.
And then I imagine, yeah, there's going to be a wide variety of everything from like more brutal katanas and stuff on from Yasuke's point of view, and then all sorts of uh sneaky deaky weapons from what's her name, Naoi's side. Speaking of such, we don't really know that much about the overall premise and story of the game so far, but with what we know, are there anything specific you lads are looking forward to?
I think for me, it's just the assassin side of it, having a
Yeah,
big open world, but I can be the assassin, and obviously you can mix it up and be the warrior as well, rather than
of
being
course.
channeled down one route.
Yeah, it's an interesting time in history we're heading to. What is it, 1579? This is at a time when, the big empires of the world are going out on the oceans, going to the other sides of the world at last. And at this point, we have a fully established brotherhood. Assassin Brotherhood is no longer
Yeah,
the hidden ones. Uh, and it's also at a time when it's like in between assassin epicness. Like, we are was Xiao Yun alive at that point? I'm not
yeah.
sure.
I
Yeah,
I think
think I
she
think
would have
she'll
been
be
old.
alive, but she'll be old. Yeah,
yeah,
so
old woman at that
maybe an
point.
appearance.
But it's also at a time when, the great Ezio Auditore has become a legend to all corners of the world.
Mm.
Yeah, it'd be
About,
nice to
yeah,
hear his
50
name.
years after his passing.
I can
Um,
see it happening,
of course,
even if it's
yeah.
just in the writing, the little notes that you find throughout the
Yeah,
world. I'm
Yeah.
sure there'll be some stuff for him.
I forget when it is Chronicles China takes place, but it's around that time, maybe 2, 3 decades before.
oh, yeah, I couldn't tell you. Yeah,
I only played that once many years ago too. It's
Yeah, it's a
quite
long
fun
time
though.
ago.
Yeah, I quite enjoy the Chronicles games overall, even if they are like very fixed 2.5D, but they make for fun stuff. And if you're like me, you're sure to try and get some of the challenges as well, whether that's like achievements or play the whole game without
Yeah,
being detected. Not that I've done that, even attempted it. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of story potential for sure, and I think the overall premise is it looks like, it's when the Portuguese and other colonizers are first arriving to Japan, and Yasuke finding his place in that, being an outsider, and there's a lot of potential for how he gets involved with the assassins,
I think
to what
that's what
we've
makes
already
it.
seen.
So that's one of my favorite thing about Assassin's Creed. I really like learning about different time period. I know nothing about this time period
Yeah,
of that side of the globe. So it's going to be really interesting. I just like that you've got all these kind of different cultures jumping in,
yeah.
all their different beliefs and everything, and they're all kind of trying to mesh together. And it'd be interesting to see how that folds out over the story.
Maybe, given it's kind of the same thing, did any of you watch Shogun on Disney Plus there?
No, I still
That's
need to.
fair. Did you watch it, Aaron?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm gonna watch it when the game comes out.
That's cool. I will say it was decent, like very decent, scenography, brilliant costume design, overall, like a cool idea, but maybe it wasn't for me. Maybe it got a little long and just not quite what I was expecting, but don't let that discourage you. There is still, yeah, a lot of cool historical things, if anything, for a history guy like me. Yeah, that's the year 1600, so it's that same time,
Mm.
Portuguese, Christian missionaries, and they have converted some Japanese people to Christianity, and it's also here when the first Brits are slowly arriving, and all the empires are really taking advantage of the Magellan route, it's called. My impression is that Yasuke is not really a fully fledged assassin, but him and the assassins rather have common interests.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. He's not the assassin type, is he? He's absolutely massive and a bit of a
Yeah,
tank.
you could, yeah, climb in that big brute armor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think he'll become one either. I don't see it.
No,
you think they'll work together and then part ways?
Yeah, yeah. I because we've had it before where they're not assassins, and you don't really need him to be an assassin either because you've got the other character.
Yeah.
You've got the best of both worlds.
You reckon once the game's all said and done, we'll get a DLC, so they'll both get one each.
Yeah,
That'd be quite
yeah,
nice.
because aren't they going to support this one for
Quite a long time.
4 years? Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
probably one each.
It'd be
That
nice,
could-
yeah, nice to have one each and then maybe one, say, I don't know, 10, 15 years down the line where they meet up again. That'd be quite nice. So
Kind of like the Syndicate thing almost. Like we have the main game with the two main protagonists, and then certainly 20 years went by.
Yes.
Yeah,
My impression is that DLC, the Jack the Ripper one for that game, is not as respected as it should be because that DLC was fucking epic.
I only played through it once, but I remember
It was like a thriller
I know it was
movie.
like Syndicate, but it was a bloody good time.
Yeah,
I remember having really good fun with it.
I preferred the DLC to the actual main game.
that's I respect that. No, I just remember that opening with like, what the just happened? Is Jacob dead? And then it's just like that gloomy theme and the dark winter streets of London.
It was dripping, wasn't it?
Soundtrack.
Dripping with atmosphere, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, that DLC was nice.
Soundtrack was really good.
Most definitely, yeah. Opposed to the main Syndicate soundtrack also, which was very lively, very and normal songs. Like it was like theater songs to capture the fun glamour of Victorian London. With Yasuke, are we on to maybe like an Edward Kenway type character? In the sense that, they share common goals, but that's it. Because, that is pretty much describing Edward Kenway even as an official assassin.
Mm.
Yeah, he was still the same guy, wasn't he? When he became an assassin, he still had that cheeky side.
Yeah, I'm replaying Black Flag at the moment. I'm almost done. I'm in at sequence 12. But it's very clear that even after his drinking down and going to prison and losing everyone and all that stuff, his heart opens up. He wants to make amends, but at the end, he is still that very brash, outlawy, edgy guy who's like, fine, let's just get on with it. Let's go kill some people, shoot some ships. He's definitely not as devout as other assassins.
For me, most of his there was development, but I think most of his development happened in the events after the game. But I mean, that's touched upon in Syndicate as well, isn't it? When you go exploring his house,
Yeah.
it's quite a nice touch.
Yeah, legendary British mentor.
Yeah,
but for a long time, him and the assassins really just share common interests. We might be onto some of that with Yasuke there. It's very interesting for the first time that we have a real historical character for the protagonist.
but
It's wild that that's never happened before.
It is. There have been so many options, but fairly enough, like that has always been left to the sidekicks, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Ezio and Leonardo remain like the strongest duo to date.
Yeah.
But there's been loads of characters, isn't there? Historical characters throughout all the games, but we've never been able to play as one, which is kind of weird.
I suppose Yasuke he's got more of a mystery around him, so they can take a few liberties.
I'm sure
what he's done with his life.
Yeah, I'm also excited to see. We've heard a little bit of it, like the score of the game, what that will be.
I'm on the fence with the score so far. I like it. The little tasters we've had, but I'm not fully convinced yet.
Yeah, we'll have to hear more. It's interesting they're going with. They were called Teki. They're like a Japanese English like alternative rock band, or
it's 3 again, isn't it? They've got 3 involved. There's the Flighter there as well.
Who also did the score for Odyssey. I never really dove into, but it's the quality's there, I'm sure.
I love the soundtracks overall though, so I'm sure it's going to be great.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool options. There are lots of cool Japanese and Eastern stringed instruments like the koto, I hope will be quite prominent. And then if it's anything, like I said, kind of like Far Cry 4, maybe we'll also get some like cool monk throat singing and big choirs and drums and stuff. Of course, we should also talk about that. You guys being the photography expert, is there anything you guys are excited for with the little we know, of course, but if anything, maybe just capturing the world?
Yeah, always.
Always, yeah.
Always the world is exciting. I'm a bit worried about the lack of bird. I'm sure Jack is as well.
Yeah, because
The lack of birds?
yeah,
Hmm.
without getting too negative,
It
well,
would,
they're taking the bird out, so a lot of us use the bird as a for the range. You
Yeah.
can get a lot further away from the character with the bird than you can with the in-game photo mode. So
fun.
it's interesting to
Yeah.
see if they're going to update the photo mode enough that we're not going to miss the bird all that much, but we'll see.
Hmm. That might
We want
be.
those long range shots.
Oh God,
There is. It sounded like you guys were somewhat familiar with Far Cry there. I love it, but it is kind of restrictive. Like I
very
wish you
restricted.
could get yeah, more space.
Yeah, you probably got like 5 meters away from the character, 10
Yeah,
meters away tops. It's really not much. I mean,
yeah,
Assassin's Creed is probably only a little bit more than that. It's really not all that great, unfortunately. The rest of the fighter mode's pretty solid, but the range has always been
yeah.
lacking.
Might be
And
some.
because the game's focusing quite a bit on light and how you manipulate lighting to kill targets, sneak in places, I think that'll be good for photography as well. Because
Oh,
you're going to have all
100%.
these little lights around that you could possibly put out to then create shadows and lighting on faces. I think that'll be quite cool.
Might be some truth to that. I just think you guys mentioned birds there. I'm probably misunderstanding something, but it really, if it hasn't been shown already, would surprise me if like in the game itself there isn't any wildlife. There is sure to be wide
Oh,
array.
we mean the
Yeah,
companion.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
Enkidu and
Yeah,
Yeah, I see
Senu.
for
so no,
sure.
yeah,
But no,
they're
there's bound to be beautiful wildlife to include in your shots, all the beautiful Japanese birds and whatever else lives out there.
yeah. I imagine there will because I imagine there's going to be hunting and crafting is going to make a
Oh
return.
yeah,
So yeah,
that would be
there's got
great.
to be. Yeah,
There has to be. Yeah. I also imagine, yeah, like I said, cherry trees and the jungles are bound to be beautiful to capture.
bamboo
Uh,
forests. Yeah,
we got a little
Definitely.
bit of those landscapes. If any of you guys
yeah.
played that in the Pagan DLC for Far Cry 6, we got a little bit of it there.
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't played that one.
I didn't play that one, no.
That's great. I've been playing those the character DLCs recently.
Yeah.
Can warmly recommend. Really shifts a different light on these, yeah, psychopaths, I
Yeah,
suppose. But
I have heard
my
they're good.
my favorite was easily the Joseph one because I always say that he's just like so many villains. He's just misunderstood, Joseph Seed. Yeah, and I prefer to use the word more like antagonist than villain
dude
for
was a cult
Joseph.
leader.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with his methods, and some of the doomsday prepping was a bit extreme, but his intentions were
He
as true as can
he
be, I
was right
suppose.
though. He was
He
right in
was.
the end. So
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, yeah, Far Cry 5 there is the best one in my book,
yeah,
for sure.
I love Far Cry 5. I go back to it
Brilliant.
quite often.
Did you play that's another thing, the Vietnam DLC for that one? Because that
No, I
was
I
didn't.
never played any of the DLCs
because that
for
was
that
kind of
one.
like, like Southeast Asian jungles and stuff, which I
Yeah,
imagine we will get some landscapes similar to that in this game. Small rivers, palm trees,
yeah.
bamboo.
'Cause it's quite thick as well, wasn't it? The jungle in that. I've watched a few of the gameplays, and
Yeah, it's basically like you're playing as like a US soldier. You have to make your way through like a small map,
yeah,
and doing everything you can probably complete it in like 3 hours or something. Probably my
When
favorite Far Cry DLC.
Wow, give it a go.
What was that, Aaron?
in um in Shadows, we're going to get a base camp, aren't we? That we can return to, like an
No,
assassin hideout. So I
Oh,
can
really?
assume that'll be somewhere like in dense forest, hidden away.
that
Oh,
might
I
be.
can't
see.
imagine it being. I can't
I might have
imagine it being
missed that.
in the middle of a main place. I mean, it is in Mirage, but
That
Yeah.
got me thinking though. What would you guys say to like a remote camp? Like you can anywhere in the jungle, like set up camp for the night,
Oh, yes.
like
I'd
yes,
advanced
love a
time
video game
or
that will. Yeah.
craft or such and such.
Yeah.
I,
Well, a
I
bit
would.
like Red Dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I would rather they went that route with it, where resources are slim and you can't just fire off a load of knives and arrows or whatever all the time, and you have to craft and be limited on what you've got. I think it would make it more interesting and more challenging.
Is that you can't just pull up the weapon wheel and craft like 30 arrows. You have to set up a
Yeah,
camp
yeah,
and do it. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I
Yeah.
totally agree with you on that.
No, there was something. Yeah, you mentioned Red Dead there. To riding out in New Austin at night, just setting up camp there.
And you
Let
just watching the stars go out. That's just,
Yeah,
it's beautiful, man.
get some sleep, and then you wake up to desert morning.
That'd be if they could implement something like that, that'd be quite nice. I think with the stationary camp though, I'd like to. I didn't know that, Aaron. That's quite exciting. I hope that it's upgradable as the story goes through. That'd be quite interesting.
Oh, what the camp?
Yeah, a bit like the villa in AC2. That'd be quite nice.
Yeah, I mean it's very limited when I read about it, but there will be an assassin hideout that you can
Yeah,
upgrade. So, but I don't know, they haven't gone into details yet.
yeah, no, that'd be really nice.
Something that serves a purpose, though, is all I'll say. Like, Monterey Johnny had its purpose. You invest more. Oh, there's discount in the armory store.
Yeah,
Whereas, like in Black Flag, yeah, upgrading Gradient Agua looked good, but it didn't really serve much of a
No,
purpose,
nah,
except for the little tavern, maybe.
yeah. Every pirate's got to have a tavern.
Yeah, recruiting crew and general store and such.
when in Valhalla it had meaning to upgrade your base, didn't it? Because it gave you buffs and different people. But Shadows won't be like that because you're not building a community, are you? You're building an assassin's base. So yeah, I don't know how they'll do that, but
Yeah, I imagine that makes me think that yeah, most of the setting will be quite rural. Like there won't
mm,
be
Oh,
any
100%.
major cities, or was there Osaka? Or how was it?
Isn't it? There's one or two major cities, and then everything
That might
else
be.
is kind of just dotted farmland.
That
Um,
might be.
yeah, I'm
My,
not too. I'd have to read up again.
they did put a map up. I think because it's is
yeah,
it
I
part of
think
the
so.
collector's edition? You get the fabric map or something, and I think it shows what the cities are on it. I think
The
you need to
fabric.
have a look.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the map's actually quite large.
Have you got
I
it?
wonder if there's going to be any naval combat.
I was just thinking of that.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be like some cannon defenses,
Yeah,
slight things, small isles out in the ocean. But nah, I think still like naval combat, like we think of, was mainly a European thing. So
yeah.
so 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 yeah, I won't be surprised if it hasn't found its way that east yet.
Yeah, I don't know. They haven't shown or said anything about naval, have they?
No.
Nah,
So we've got.
I
I
wouldn't
don't know
put
if
my
these are
money on it.
regions. So I don't know if these are regions or cities. We've got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. 9 regions or cities, but there's a hell of a lot of rural.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to yeah be riding on the big fields and then into the city, which I imagine won't feel too city-ish even. It'll probably have more like a village feel with a
Yeah,
lot of
it'd be like a.
people.
Yeah, I would have thought like a small town.
Yeah,
That'd
there'll
be
be yeah probably a like a big temple or two, and
yeah.
then there'll be like fishing shops and stuff. But you are bound to en route right by a lot of like small fishing villages or such.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's an island, isn't it? It's
Yeah, for
always
There's
been that.
sure.
gonna
Yeah,
there's going to have to be enough for us to jump around on top of and enjoy, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. You've got to have some kind of yeah, yeah. It can't be like Assassin's Creed 3. There's got to be some route or something through the
Yeah,
city.
especially having a grappling hook.
Yeah, I forgot about the grappling hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Do you think we might be see the rope dart as well? Speaking of Xiao Yun's famous weapon,
We've got to, haven't we? It's
I
too
suppose
close.
so.
Yeah.
It's too close not to.
Yeah, it's the region it was born in, and yeah, it's very contemporary. I was also just thinking in terms of the map, since it is mostly like Southeast Japan, would you guys like for maybe just a mission or two that we go to, the almighty Tokyo itself? Would that be justified? Maybe Mount Fuji as well, or something?
It wouldn't hurt, would it?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, even like a DLC or like an exclusive mission.
Yeah.
That'd be quite nice.
Or just a story mission or two that takes you to like locations outside the area, which is common and quite common in some games.
Yeah, like you have to go to kill a special target or something.
Yeah. That makes me think. I saw a video fairly recently from this Assassin's Creed YouTuber who's great at exploring, cut content found in, the game's codes and like out of
Mhm.
bounds secrets.
Yeah.
Apparently in Syndicate, there were supposed to be co-op missions taking you to like a number of locations across England, and even all the way up to Scotland. I
Oh,
would
that
have,
would have been incredible.
yeah, including my beloved Windsor Castle, just outside of London. That place, if you guys have ever been to the Great Park, that place is like a fairy tale.
No, I haven't
A
been personally.
Oh, you have to. It's a
long
great
time ago.
great walk. You can easily spend a whole day there. No, that place is beautiful, and it's a nice little town as well. But yeah, it was like Windsor Castle all the way up to Edinburgh, even, and also Stonehenge. Admittedly later seen in Valhalla, but that would have been
Yeah,
fun.
Yeah.
We saw
yeah,
a
that would
little
have
bit of the countryside in the game's beginning down in Croydon, but other than that, yeah, it was very city based.
been. Yeah, it would have. Yeah, a bit of greenery would have been nice.
Yeah, the
And it is
English
what like
countryside
Unity's
is
co-op missions were amazing as well. It's a shame they haven't made a comeback yet.
the co-op
Yeah. They were
missions.
so
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, and it was just incredibly fun.
yeah. Like we've talked about on the show before, Unity just had the world's messiest launch, which, yeah, may or may not
It
have
just
impacted
wasn't
the
ready,
whole
was it?
co-op thing. No, they should have waited like a year, maybe even half a year. Then they had put it out.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they should have done. Yeah.
If Tombs make a comeback, that'd be quite a
Yeah.
cool way to incorporate going out of the playable map.
Yeah, that just reminded me of the from Far Cry 3, those missions where you go into those caves to find the Dragon Blade or what it is, if you remember
Yeah,
those.
they were
Uh,
cool.
which you're kind of wondering, is that Isu tech by any chance? Like those discs or what it is? No, that could actually be pretty cool now that you say it, because those tomb missions in
They're awesome.
AC2 and Brotherhood are just peak.
Yeah,
I missed them in Revelations. We had them a little bit in the main story, and there was like one side mission, but
it
uh,
wasn't much, was it? It was like
wasn't
Dracula's
much.
it was something like that, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
there was the Lair of Vlad the Impaler
That's it.
and the Hasha Sophia challenge level.
Yeah, but that
Other
was it.
than
And then
that,
they kind of dropped off, didn't they, for quite a
yeah,
while?
a bit. Yeah, Revelations
Yeah.
was. I mean, I say Brotherhood was just peak Ezio trilogy in terms of gameplay. There was
Yeah,
everything. There was the war machines, the Romulus lairs, the flags, the feathers, the glyphs, the everything. I've been replaying that as well lately, and beautiful game.
it took everything number two did well and
And just
just
build upon it.
it was amazing, wasn't it? It really was.
I did. It was because I suddenly felt the urge to replay AC2, and then I finished that. I was like, you can't. You have to do Brotherhood as well, just
Yeah, 'cause
because
you can
the
slot
stories are
straight
one and
into
the
it.
same.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we've covered everything there is to Shadows at this point in time with everything we know, but unless there's anything else you guys want to add, I think this has been a fun and good take.
We want a better photo mode. I'm going to say that now at the end.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Now we'll see. I'm sure it won't be all terrible. There's bound to be some photogenic shots at the very
Oh,
least.
definitely. The world's going to be insane. I'm really looking forward to capturing it.
Yeah.
I want to see more of it, though. We need some more gameplay.
Yeah, it's going to be like you said before we started recording this, since this is the first AC game solely built on yeah Series X and PS5 tech. There is
Yeah.
bound to be no limits in terms of what the world can do.
Yeah, I'm expecting, I don't know, maybe the world's more dense. It's got more people.
Maybe,
Could
yeah.
be anything, really, couldn't it? I just hope that they showcase it well.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, we might be on to some Red Dead 2 levels of realism. That
That'd be
game
nice.
also just went, I mean, to the point where your horse's balls will shrink in the cold. Yeah. There was a reason that game is like 120 gigabytes now with all the updates and the game itself. And
Yeah, man, do it on PS4 as well.
yeah,
To be fair, nothing else
Mm.
comes close to that game yet, so it'd
that's
be
what
good
I
if.
said. I mean, I have the Series X controller, but I don't have the console yet. But I will probably need to see to that soon. But no, it's just the Xbox One has taken, plenty care of all gaming needs still, really.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I always say that the new generation, like it felt like the old gen still had a lot to offer.
Yeah,
Like
well, there's
Red
only
Dead
a.
2 came out at a time that was like the peak of the last generation.
Yeah,
Just showed how
That
much
was Odyssey. It was the same time as Odyssey, wasn't it?
what
yeah,
was that?
Yeah,
2018.
Yeah,
2018. Yeah.
yeah, there were 3 weeks between those games.
Oh, wow.
Um, so yeah, I mean, we're slowly reaching that point now in terms of new games coming out that it's solely yeah, these consoles. So I'll probably have to see to upgrading before Christmas or something.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you going to play Shadows on?
Uh, I get the Series X.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so where all my games and such are.
That's where I'll be playing it.
Yeah. Now there is slowly also just other games, exclusives. This maybe you guys saw the new Life is Strange that got announced. Big
Mm.
part of that.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that franchise, and there were some other games as well. I think GTA 6 next year or whenever. It's going to
Yeah.
be the
Oh, that's
biggest
going to
thing
be
ever.
it's going to be insane. That'll take advantage of this gen.
Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, you know Rockstar and everything we've seen so far. That game is going to be nuts.
Oh, yeah. I saw it. I saw
Wearing the
something the other
hat,
day. Yeah,
Los
yeah.
Santos. Yeah.
It said Rockstar has more employees than every PlayStation studio, like Insomniac,
Wow.
and so
Oh
yeah,
wow.
yeah, and it's working on one game. All of
Yeah.
their employees are working on one game. So yeah, it's going to be absolutely mad.
That's what I've always said about Rockstar, though, is they have really gone to a place where it's quality over quantity, but they just set the standard for open world gaming every time,
Mm.
Every year,
and that's
roll
been
around once a decade and just hit that
yeah,
bar.
and that's very prominent in some of the early AC games as well. Like there's a lot of elements and structure things that are clearly inspired by Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
a lot of people that worked on the snow technology in Assassin's Creed 3 actually went on to work on Red Dead 2.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh.
Yeah, I read that in an interview because the Rockstar were really impressed with how Connor was working his way through the snow, like
Yeah.
sinking into it and like you can't run in
Mm.
it. So yeah, they kind of
That's cool. I didn't know that.
poached them, so to speak.
All right.
Talking GTA, do you
Yeah.
reckon when we switch players in Shadows, it'll be like GTA?
Oh, the
When it zooms out here.
Yeah.
Nah, it's
It'll
probably
be
like
dropped down.
Syndicate, like a little Animus transition.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
the other thing will be, and then you have like a fun switch scenario. What the other person is up to during their
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. because especially Trevor Phillips, man, that
Waking
man
up
is
on a
up to some
bridge.
fun
Yeah.
stuff. All right. All right. Other than that, I think that's a good take. Let's wrap it up here, and unless there's anything else,
I
then
did really.
just cheers, assassins, and thanks for listening to yet another episode of Rally the Creed. Make sure to stay tuned right here on the side, of course, for everything Shadows. Also, as we grow closer to the release of the game, there's lots of exciting content on our end planned. And other than that, stay safe and keep the community what it is, folks. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Yes. See ya.